Meralco powers the metro. It also powers businesses with Meralco Biz. With its peak off-peak solution, businesses get big savings.
From 6 to 33 ice plants in 6 years, my children will soon take over a company.
Energy savings equals best value for quality accommodation. Ang Biz di bitin sa NGPIN.
Ano man ang business mo, may partner ka sa pag-abot ng pangarap mo.
Hello and a wonderful day to everybody here on Meralco Power Up Live. Kevin La Peña here, and I am pleased to welcome you to this morning's informative webinar on the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act. And I hope you're all doing well wherever you are right now, preferably in a quiet and comfortable spot where data or Wi-Fi reception is crisp and clear. It'd be great if you could use a headset or earphones for best quality audio. Now, this program will run for about an hour, and we intend to give you a very useful information direct from the experts, as well as solutions that you may consider to adopt for your businesses. Now, we encourage you to participate in the discussion by posting your comments and questions in our chat box. Our guest panelists will address those questions later on in today's program. All right, so to formally open today's webinar, we are joined by the head of Meralco Biz Partners Group. Everybody, please join me in welcoming Miss Joy Mendoza.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for that introduction, Kevin. And it's nice to see you again. First, I would like to thank the Department of Energy, led by Director Patrick Aquino, for joining us today so we can learn more about the opportunities under the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act. My thanks also to Cecil of MServe for being with us here also to share on some energy efficiency solutions that can help our business customers. The impact of COVID-19 in our lives and even the businesses has indeed been overwhelming, and we know more challenges are coming our way. We continue to assure you, our customers, of our support as we navigate from the new normal to a brighter future. This is the reason why we bring you today this webinar. We hope to help you understand how this law will impact your business and how we can help you comply with the help of our guest speakers today. Meralco is segmented into three in order to attend and provide the different needs of our customers. Yours truly for the Biz Partners Group, which is Meralco's dedicated segment for business customers, with power requirements of 5 to 499 kilowatts, or with a monthly average bill of 15,000 to 1.8 million pesos. The other two segments are the Meralco Corporate Partners for the large enterprise or corporations, while our Home and Micro Biz Partners for the micro enterprise and the residential customers. Meralco has a number of initiatives to grow the businesses of our customers even before the pandemic. And now during the pandemic, we have a number of services that can help promote business continuity and recovery strategies. Moving forward, Meralco is not just here to deliver power and collect payment from your bills. We are your end-to-end energy solutions partner that can help you at any stage or phase of your business, whether you are setting up a new business, planning to expand, or even recovering from the current crisis. First, we have site assessment. For new business, in as much as you do site assessment in terms of location and market, site assessment for electrical facilities is very essential to maximize your savings. Choosing the right location for your business can result to cost efficiencies in the construction of your facility and therefore will shorten the processing of your application. Close collaboration with us in as early as the planning stage will result in timely, safe, and hassle-free energization. We also make sure that your power supply is matched with the ever dynamic needs of your business via our Power Match. You can also avail of our free power consult so we can assess your energy requirements. Cash flow is the lifeblood of each business. That's why we in Meralco, we have this power consult for our business customers to maximize savings and grow their business. For instance, if there is a need to change your business hours and operations, we will definitely be recommending the peak off peak program where consumption is relatively lower during off peak than during peak. If customers would wish to go for savings and safety in terms of interconnection for those with solar installations or those planning to have one, we have the net metering program. We also offer energy efficiency solutions and technologies via our Power Ideas to help you manage your consumption. Lastly, we have our subsidiaries and affiliates for services and innovations like solar panels, electric vehicles, fiber optic connectivity, indoor air quality solutions, and other safety and energy efficiency solutions. We've partnered with and helped a lot of our business customers just like you, and we hope to partner with you too. These are just some of our many customers, partners, with their success stories achieved through Meralco Partnership. If you want to consult with us and learn more about our services, you can visit our website, email us, or call us via our hotline. The numbers and details now flashed on the screen allow us to help you bounce back and grow your business with Meralco Biz Partners Group. And I also look forward to having you in our succeeding webinars as we try to bring you solutions and services that can power a brighter tomorrow for your business. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Alright, thank you very much, Miss Joy, at magandang umaga din po sa inyo. It's really nice to be able to see you again. Alright, so much of what we're going to be talking about this morning will actually be focusing on the benefits and direct implications of the EENC Act on small and medium enterprises. But before we proceed, though, why don't we have a quick Zoom poll just to find out what the current level of awareness of everybody participating this room in this morning. Alright. So you're about to see a Zoom poll pop up any minute now. The poll question is, who among you have heard of or are already aware of the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act before this webinar? A, I've heard this before. B, I don't know anything yet. All right, so we're just going to give you a few more seconds to be able to click on your answer, and then in a few seconds from now, we're actually going to be showing you the results live this morning. All right, so time is up. Why don't we see the results of our poll? All right, so it looks like 69% of you clicked on A, I've heard this before, whereas 31% of you clicked B, I don't know anything yet. All right, it's okay because we're going to be able to cover solutions for Meralco and MServe as we go along in today's program. All right. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for your participation. And now, in moving forward to give us an overview on the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act, we have with us our expert from the Energy Utilization and Management Bureau of the Department of Energy. Everybody, please join me in welcoming Director Patrick Aquino.
Good day. I'd like to thank Meralco for organizing this particular event, and allow me to present a short presentation on the opportunities under the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act. So we begin the presentation showing you a situationer of where we are in terms of Philippine Energy Plan 2018-2040, as well as the total projected final energy demand through 2040. As you can see, we'd like to highlight that the household, industrial, and services are the ones that account for almost a third of consumption. And these are actually areas where Meralco operates. And in fact, based on this slide that we got off the net, Meralco area is home to a substantial number of designated establishments. So it's very important that you, our Meralco partners, also help our end users or would-be designated establishments in their journey for energy efficiency and conservation. So when the law speaks of designated establishments, these are entities in the private sector identified as energy intensive. So the classification is based on annual energy consumption, which is a combination of both fuel and electricity. Expressed in kilowatt-hour equivalent, the first classification or other designated establishments consume at least 100,000 kilowatt-hour equivalent, but under 500,000 kilowatt-hour equivalent of energy consumption. Type 1 designated establishments are those in excess of 500,000 kilowatt-hours equivalent, but less than 4 million kilowatt-hours equivalent. And Type 2 designated establishments are those with a higher consumption of 4 million kilowatt-hours and above. This is governed by Memorandum Circular MC 2020-05-001. In terms of obligations, there are quite a few, one of which is the integration of energy management systems. These designated establishments are mandated to integrate an energy management system into their business operations, but they are only encouraged on certification. So to repeat, we are encouraging certification, but the mandate for compliance is on the integration of energy management system into their business operation. Another obligation is on the engagement of an energy conservation officer for Type 1 designated establishment and an energy manager for a Type 2 designated establishment. What is required at this point in time is just registration only. So you just have to fill up the form EEC form number 1 or number 2 as the case may be, as the training modules are still under development. You are still, however, required to notify the DOE on any changes with respect to the appointment or separation of an energy conservation officer or energy manager as the case may be. Note that this can be a designation from existing personnel, or you can engage the services of a third party for the compliance on this requirement. In terms of energy audit, the requirement is to be done once every 3 years. You can engage a certified energy auditor or an accredited energy service company for this purpose. These are required to be submitted to the DOE as part of the forms in compliance to the reportorial requirements earlier mentioned. Energy audit is mandatory for Types 1 and Type 2 designated establishment. Frequently asked question is, when do we consider the 3-year period for energy audit? Those done in 2018 are valid until this year. Those done in 2019 is valid through next year. Those done last year are valid to 2023, and those done this year will be valid through 2024. Then on the submission of requirements, we do take this opportunity to remind everyone that the submission of reports, EEC Forms 1 or Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4 are due on the 15th of April. You can scan the QR code for the forms or follow the link also flashed on the screen. We clarify that the submission is on a calendar year basis, meaning January to December. We further clarify that for EEC form number 3, backtracking of data is only whenever it's applicable. Because if you take a look at the form, it does say 5-year available, but what we are telling people is that whatever available information is on hand, that is what you will be submitting. We also clarify that in terms of compliance submissions can be done as an enterprise. However, energy consumption for each building or facility uh, must be disaggregated for said facilities or buildings. So you can do one submission if you have multiple sites. However, the forms, particularly forms 3 and 4, the information in particular for forms 3 and 4 should be disaggregated. On the obligation to integrate or implement energy efficiency and renewable energy projects, these are done either in the main office or facilities or remote sites or both. Flash on the screen are some of the examples, which includes reduction of cooling demand for the building, retrofitting of the chillers, lighting system retrofit, etc. Note that the projects listed here or flash on the screen are examples also of what you will be accomplishing in EEC form number 3. So that's the exercise that you will be doing. For energy service companies, this may be your partner or our partner in compliance with the EEC Act, as they offer multi-technology services and goods towards the development and design of energy efficiency projects that deliver and guarantee energy savings, as well as ensure cost-effective and optimal performance. This is governed by Department Circular DC 2020-09-0018. At the start of February this year, we do have 40 registered ESCOs. So if you do need assistance or if you want to look at opportunities in compliance, you may get in touch with them. Incidentally, until the individual certification program is out for energy auditors, it is only the energy audit done by ESCOs that is recognized by the DOE. In as much as we do Philippine Energy Labeling Program work as well, we want to inform you that this is the labeling program of the government that aims to make energy efficiency and conservation a way of life through the promotion of hopefully the use of energy efficient consuming products. We're also looking at market transformation through the regulation of this energy consuming products. There are twin issuances here. One is on the PELP itself, and the other one is on the minimum energy performance for products, or MEPP. PELP really is on consumer empowerment in choosing, guiding consumers to choose at the point of sale energy efficient products, which will help them realize energy savings and reduction in terms of consumption when they use these products. On the MEPP is really the elimination for the entry and sale of inefficient and substandard products in the local market and the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Covered products right now include a refrigerator, air conditioning units, television sets, and various lighting products. In as much as Meralco does also interface with some SMEs and other retailers, we do want to remind you on the obligations to attach the energy label, exhibit the label in all publications, coordinate or cooperate during monitoring, enforcement, and verification activities, and the submission of annual information on the inventory and sales of these products. Now, on the guidelines on energy conserving design for buildings, this is aimed to encourage design and services aimed at the reduction of the energy use. Of course, with due regard to cost effectiveness, building function, comfort, health, safety, and productivity of the occupants. This is now in effect. It's governed by Department Circular 2020-12-0026 and covers new constructions and retrofits for buildings with electrical loads of at least 112.5 kVA or total gross floor area of 10,000 square meters total gross floor area. Building envelope, electrical systems, and mechanical systems are portions of the guidelines on energy conserving design for buildings. In terms for the certification for the energy conservation officer, energy manager, and energy auditor, these are the guidelines on the assessment, registration, certification for these three professionals. This is governed by our first circular for 2021, DC 2021-01-001. Directionally, what we will be doing is that the DOE will do a recognition program for the training institutes that will provide for the certification programs. These certifications or certificates will be recognized by the DOE The proposed validity of the certificates is for 3 years, subject, of course, to continuing qualification requirements. And those who may be interested in fiscal incentives for energy efficiency projects, we're scheduled to do one more public consultation on this to finally have our counterpart implementing rules to Board of Investments Memorandum Circular 2021-001, which already included energy efficiency projects in the 2020 Investment Priorities Plan, or IPP. In terms of the processing time, we're looking at a 20-day period for this, from project application all the way to the release of the endorsement. The level of ITH will depend on the project boundary reached by a particular project, those with 15% to 20%. If it's ESCO initiated or a third-party project developer, ITH rate would be at 50%. For self-finance, that would be 30% of the cost of installed EEC equipment, more than 20%, up to 25% ESCO rate, and third-party project developer rate would be at 75%. For self-finance, that would represent 40% of the costs initiated, cost for the installed EEC project, and those in excess of 25% project boundary will be entitled to a 100% ITH for ESCO and third-party project developer initiated projects. For self-finance, that will be equivalent to 50% of the cost of the installed EEC equipment. And for the non-fiscal awards, we do a recognition program, typically at the end of the year, recognizing individuals, establishments, and entities for their innovations in energy efficiency conservation, best practices, and the successful implementation of energy efficiency projects, as well as energy efficient products. This slide will show you the medium-term goal of the DOE with respect to the commercial industrial sector. As you can see, most of the policies have already been issued or about to be issued. That is with respect to the fiscal incentives, as well as on the details for the certification training regulations in particular. The goal really is to come out with a benchmark or a building energy utilization index under the minimum energy performance for sectors umbrella, and later on we do want to transition to a zero energy building certification program. And with that, that ends my presentation. You may get in touch with us for clarifications or further inquiries at our contact information flashed on the screen, our social media page, website, and telephone number. I am here along with my team to address any and all of your concerns. So please feel free to engage us as we transition later on to the open forum. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for listening. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you very much, Director Aquino. That was indeed very enlightening. Now, almost 2 years since it was passed into law, the EENC Act has been a guidepost for companies and institutions to conserve and efficiently use energy as a way of supporting economic development and protecting the environment in the long run. Now, to help you achieve these goals and comply with the law, there are companies that are equipped with the services and solutions tailor-fit for the needs of your business. Let's get to hear one such partner as I now turn you over to the Vice President and the head of the Energy Efficiency Group of MServ. Everybody, please join me in giving a very warm welcome for Ms. Cecil Marvilla.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Director Patrick and Joy and everyone here in this webinar. So today we'd like to ask you if everyone is ready with the implementation of the EENC Act. At MServ, we have grouped our services into 3 pillars. The first of which is energy management. Second, audit and advisory. And the third, once you have already pinpointed what energy efficiency project you have, you can now approach us for design and build services for your energy efficiency project. So let me go through each pillar in more detail. The first, I'm sure everyone is a little bit concerned because April 15 is already very near. You can contact your Meralco relationship manager to allow us to present to you the different services under energy efficiency. So we can help guide you through the whole process of accomplishing your reports by introducing the law first, and then going through the forms so that you can be guided. And we can help you with your energy management framework, which is loosely based on ISO 50001, and help you pinpoint energy efficiency projects that you can implement. Okay, next slide. For audit and advisory, we can perform energy audits, which I heard from the DOE will be required as early as next year. So you have enough time to perform your energy audits for your facilities. Second is the investment grade audit if you need financing, if you need to submit the audit reports for financing companies. And the third is an electrical audit to determine equipment reliability and system efficiency. So here on the next slide are some snapshots that you can expect to see when you engage us for audit reports and electrical safety audits. Now, after you have seen all of the potentials, after we present to you our recommendations for the audit, we can now proceed to design and build. If we can proceed to the slide on design and build your energy efficiency project. So energy efficiency, as Director Patrick has explained earlier, can take the form of electrical retrofits, mechanical retrofits, lighting, and automation. So we can go through electrical solutions on the next slide. We have high efficiency motors, sag correctors, capacitor banks, and harmonic filters. These are just some of the more common ones, but after an electrical audit, we can tailor fit a solution that's perfect for your facility. On the mechanical side, we can take a look at your HVAC system. HVAC and cooling is the single biggest consumer of power in most facilities. And any improvement that you can implement here will go a long way. So we have oil-free magnetic chillers that we can help you to retrofit your cooling system. A district cooling system if you have a campus type development. Inverter systems and heat recovery systems for some of your factories. On the lighting side, if we can proceed to the next slide on lighting, we can do an LED retrofit for your facility, or if you have a big compound, we can do LED street lights that are smart, or just add automation to your existing lighting system to implement and optimize efficiency. Now, moving on to the slide on automation, we have the MServe Energy Management System, which is a platform, a cloud-based platform that can visualize data and help you analyze where you can optimize your facility. We also have BMS systems, chiller management systems if you want to concentrate on your chiller plant, and lighting management systems if you want to focus on lighting. So for the MServe EMS or the energy management system, this is a snapshot of the platform or the what you can expect to see on the dashboard that you will have. And it can control and monitor all the different subsystems within your facility. electrical, HVAC, lighting, CCTVs, and all other auxiliaries. You can have different views for different levels in the organization, and it will help you achieve savings and efficiency. On the next slide, of energy management system, you can also see the different widgets and the different views of different parameters that you want to track. You can customize this. There are over 1,000 widgets that you can choose from so that you only see what you need to see. So let's move to the slide on EMS kits and application. The EMS is very scalable. It doesn't matter if your business is small. We can deploy a small store kit if you have a small store, or a bigger office, or a bigger electrical plant room, or just your chiller plant. We will do a quick assessment of your facility and determine what you need to see on your dashboard, and that's the only set of sensors we will deploy. So at MServe, we can help you achieve results, actual results. So at NLEX, we did a LED lighting retrofit of all the street lights in the Middle Island. They were able to achieve 14 million in annual savings. On the next slide, MDC. MDC is the construction arm of the Ayala Group. We are their preferred electrical partner. We were able to reduce their capacity by 20%, therefore reducing capex and overall powerhouse capacity. At Insular Life, this is very significant. Their building in Alabang was able to achieve 60% in power reduction by upgrading their chiller to a magnetic oil-free chiller and adding automation to optimize day-to-day operations. At Restan Supercenters, we were able to deploy the MServe EMS for 34 stores, and it's a multi-site installation with 2 million in monthly savings and a payback period of only 23 months. At Robinson's Malls, we were able to deploy to 10 sites magnetic oil-free chillers again, delivering 1.1 million in monthly savings. And for Magnolia, we added automation, a CMS for their plant there. We were able to reduce a further 15%. So energy efficiency is not just about cooling and design, it's also on the electrical side. We can take a look at your power factor. At Republic Cement, we were able to improve their power factor from 81.96 to 95, and they were able to achieve 6.5 million per year. So all of these companies have already started their energy efficiency journey. Let us know how we can help future-proof your businesses going forward. Thank you, Kevin.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Cecil Marvilla. A virtual round of applause for Ms. Cecil, everybody. All right, I think that was a very clear and detailed presentation of the possible energy services and solutions that you can consider for your business. And I'm quite sure that you were closely following the presentations we've had, which means this next segment is going to be fun and perhaps very easy for all of you as well. Now, we've prepared two very simple questions that just might win you a special prize from Meralco if you answer it right, and more importantly, be the first one to do so. All right, so everybody please get ready to type in your answers using the chat box, all right? Because I'm about to reveal the first of our two questions. Finger on your keyboard, please. Here it is. Question number one. The Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act is also known as Republic Act number blank. All right, I'm going to give you a clue here. It's in the invitation we sent you. All right? So we're just going to give you a few seconds to ruminate and think of the answer. And please, I am inviting all of you to kindly type in your answers in the chat box below. All right? Very easy. Am I right? Now, let's get ready for the second question. Okay, here it goes. Which segment of Meralco serves small and medium enterprises? Here's another clue for all of you. Miss Joy is the head of this segment. All right, once again, which segment of Meralco serves small and medium enterprises? The clue being Miss Joy is the head of this segment. All right, we're going to give you a few more seconds for you to type in the questions. Again, paunahan po ito. The first person to get these questions correctly will get to bring home a prize, which we will be announcing later on in this program. All right? And the winners will be notified directly via chat as to how they're going to be able to get their prizes. Okay? So now I guess we can go straight to the question and answer segment. I've seen a number of questions already typed in by some of you, but if you have questions specific with your account, please kindly share it through the link provided on the chat box, because it goes without saying that we definitely value your privacy. Okay, so now for our Q&A, let me call back our very esteemed set of speakers this morning. First and foremost, everybody, please welcome back the head of Biz Partners Group of Meralco, the lovely Miss Joy Mendoza.
Hi again, and good morning, Kevin, and to everyone.
Hi, Miss Joy. All right, up next, we have the head of the DOE, Energy Utilization Management Bureau. Everybody, please welcome back Director Patrick Aquino.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Director Aquino. And last but definitely not the least, and you just heard from her a few minutes ago, the Vice President and head of the Energy Efficiency Group of MServe. Everybody, please welcome back Ms. Cecil Marvilla.
Hi, good morning, Kevin.
All right, good morning, everybody. It really is nice to be able to have everybody here in one window. All right, so not to make everybody wait any longer, I hope we can just jump right into asking the questions, okay? So the first set of questions, in fact, this person sent in a few questions here, but let me read the first. This is from Kit Go. So Kit, thank you very much for sending in your questions. First is, we are in a pandemic period, and with a new ruling by IATF, how can we comply when we are limited in manpower? Is it possible if this can be postponed? All right, perhaps Director Patrick, anybody in the panel?
Thank you, Kevin. In reality, compliance has been extended. You did mention, and some of our speakers did, and I also mentioned that this law is already 2 years old. So for under Bayanihan 1, compliance was extended actually. There is no such law right now that calls for its extension. However, directionally, what we've done is we've allowed for compliance to be a little bit more relaxed than usual. In fact, there are no penalties that we are imposing for non-compliance, although we're allowed to do so. The direction really is to make sure that people do comply. So the deadline still, it's provided under the law. It's on the 15th of April. So I do hope you people seriously consider complying, because I could not guarantee that in the next compliance period, which is the following year, there won't be any penalties. But definitely for this year, the guidance has been to be mindful of the ongoing effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hence, no penalties will be imposed for this compliance period. Let me remind everyone that this is an annual requirement. So for the period ending, for the period April 15, 2021, there will be no penalties. So, but we still hope that you comply. If that makes sense, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Aquino. All right, so now we move on to the second question, and here it goes. What since some of the items are not being used, like light bulbs in a particular room or machine is shut down because raw materials are not available or delayed in shipment, would you call that energy efficient? Ms. Cecil, perhaps I can throw this question to you now.
Anything that reduces your consumption is actually contributing to energy efficiency. But I don't think that's what the DOE is looking for. They want a systemic reduction in energy consumption. But of course, if it's on standby, of course, it's going to reduce your consumption.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Cecil. Again, before I move on with asking more questions, reminding our panelists here after each question, please feel free to chime in if you want to add to the answers. All right. Thanks again, Ms. Cecil. From Kit, we have actually another question, so we're going to jump right to that. How do we know if we are energy efficient? What are the benchmarks? What are the benchmarks for this, or what is the benchmark of being energy efficient? I think this is tied into the question that I just asked earlier, Ms. Cecil.
Mm-hmm. There are different standards of efficiency. For cooling, there's the ASHRAE standards. So it really depends on your type of business, your operations, and the type of equipment that you have. So any equipment that you already have in your system can be optimized. So a good ESCO can really help you pinpoint if you are at maximum efficiency or if there's a big opportunity for a retrofit. So Director Patrick already outlined the different ESCOs that you can approach, but of course, Meralco will always be here to help you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Cecil.
Yeah, Kevin, if I may add, that's also the reason why if you look at the obligations, there is a requirement for an energy audit for designated establishments once every 3 years. The reference really on your efficiency will be based on the audit because, as Ms. Cecil said, it will be dependent on your unique circumstances, your operations. There's no hard and fast rule as to measuring efficiency. You do have to situate it with your actual operations and functions. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Aquino. Anybody else want to add to that question? All right. So I suppose we can move on to the next one. All right. Next question. How safe is the confidentiality of the energy conservation report once we declare? Director Patrick, baka kayo po yung pwede rin sumagot nito.
Yeah, as a government agency, all information received are protected by the Data Privacy Act, and we will only use in furtherance of the objectives of the EEC Act. So that's the answer. I'm partly reading from our data privacy policy, so I hope that assures our audience of that matter. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Director Aquino. And since MServe also helps in reporting this, Ms. Cecil, anything to add to that?
We have the same strict data privacy clauses in our NDAs. So if you engage us as your energy manager, we will, of course, sign an NDA, which have very strict data privacy clauses from Meralco. So we adopt the same DP clauses in our NDAs.
Thank you, Ms. Cecil. So before we move on, anybody else wanna baka may huling input with regard to this question? All right, so I suppose we can move on to the next question. Okay, what will an electrical engineer compliance officer or energy conservation officer do, and what is his job description in a company to be effective and efficient? How can we get this when we are only a small and medium enterprise? Anybody want to take this? Perhaps you, Ms. Cecil, would you want to take on this question?
An energy conservation officer, as Director Patrick said, only requires 2 years of experience handling a Type 1 facility. So any one of your engineers who have been with you operating the same facility for 2 years is qualified. If you don't have anyone to appoint within the company, you can always call us, and an ESCO like us can be your energy manager or energy conservation officer.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tessa. Ms. Joy, anything you'd like to add to this as well?
Good, Kevin.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so now we move on to the next question. And I suppose, Director Aquino, this question is particularly for you. Sir, good morning. We are just a newly established company and not fully operated yet. Are we still required to submit the report on April? Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the question, sir. Only when the energy consumption reaches at least 100,000 kilowatt hours, if you started operation even partially last year, if it reaches that threshold, then you're obliged to report. If it does not reach that for last year, or portions of last year, then for that period, you're not obliged to report. So the barometer really is on any period of the calendar year, meaning January to December of 2020. If you've reached consumption of 100,000 kilowatt hours, then you will be other designated establishment and you'll be required to do compliance. Although the higher the consumption, you will reach type 1 or type 2, so there will be additional obligations that you need to undertake. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Patrick. All right, next question, perhaps, Ms. Joy, you can take on this right now. How can Meralco help business owners like us recover from this crisis?
Okay. We in Meralco, specifically for the Meralco Biz Partners Group, the dedicated segment for the SMEs, we have a number of services or initiatives even before and now the pandemic. We can help make your day-to-day operations more efficient that will eventually generate savings for you while you maximize your operations. Just call us for our consult and we will readily attend to your requirements.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Joy. Okay, so now, Ms. Sesso, I'm going to throw another question at you if you wouldn't mind. Good morning. How much do you charge for the energy efficiency audit? And this is from Paulino Lazarte.
Hi. It really depends on the size of your company. So the typical process is that you give us a few documents that we will give a list to Joy's team for you to comply. And then we do an ocular. There are no documents needed. And that's the time we prepare a proposal for you. But the lowest package for very small stores is only around 70,000. So it can go lower if it's really a small facility and it's not, your setup is not too complicated. So I guess the best answer is it really depends on the size of your facility.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ms. Sessa. Okay, next question. Perhaps you can take on this again, Director Patrick. I'm from a bank. Do I get it right that annual reports shall be an aggregation of all branches and facilities? Branches co-located within a building or condominium corporation could be reported twice, redundant with condo corp. How would this be treated?
Thank you for the question. In terms of double reporting, let me just start off. There will be no double reporting. For facilities such as condominiums, it would be the common areas serviced by that condo corporation that they are obliged to report on in terms of the classification as a designated establishment. Now, on the first part of the question, as to do you need to aggregate it, that will really be a judgment call on the business. We have paved the way for enterprise submissions, meaning banks like the one who asked the question can opt to do an aggregated submission, meaning that all of the branches get reported by the central office, meaning that would also translate to just one certified energy manager. But of course, in the accomplishment of your EEC forms number 3 and number 4, it has to be disaggregated. Meaning per branch or per facility, the information has to be so structured that way. Now, we are not precluding anybody from going the alternative route and saying each and every branch, if it meets the threshold, would have their own CECO or CEM. But the DOE at this point in time is not providing for a guidance telling you that, hey, if you have multiple branches, you have to have X branches to be part of this submission. It will be, again, up to the business decision of those organizations. We are mindful of the challenges, again, brought about of COVID-19. So in terms of this, we have provided for the flexibility for organizations to determine and the manner by which they are to comply with the EEC packet. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Director Patrick. Director Aquino, sorry, there's another person that would just want to clarify something with you, and this is from Stephen Lin. So Mr. Stephen Lin just wanted to clarify. Deadline of April 15 is the registration to DOE. Do we just email the registration form?
You can do the digital submission, that's right. We're using right now, I have to mention the brand. We're using Google Forms right now, but in the next compliance period, we will be using a proprietary system already that will also enhance the data protection. So you don't need to print out your submissions for the registrations. As much as possible, we do encourage virtual and paperless submission of reports, consistent with our also sustainability track, for which I know Meralco is also a big supporter of. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Patrick. Okay, Ms. Joy, I have another question for you, if you wouldn't mind. I'm interested to learn more about how you can help me comply with the energy efficiency law and the other services you offer. With that being said, what do I do next?
Okay, please do email us at biz@meralco.com.ph or call our hotline dedicated for the SMEs at 16210. You may also check the link provided in the comment section. Please leave your name and your contact details, and our team will be getting in touch with you for a walkthrough on this requirement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Joy. Okay, Ms. Cecil, this question might be for you this time. Okay, does the 100 kilowatt bracket, is this for one building only per meter base, or for the total of all branches, or multiple meter base? Example, main office has 78 kilowatts, sub office 3 consume 30 kilowatts, sub office 4 30 kilowatts, with respective meter base for each center, under one company name but of different SIN number. And this is from Mr. Larry Barcancel. Ms. Cecil?
I think Director Patrick already answered that question. You can have one energy manager, energy conservation officer for the whole company, but your energy report should be disaggregated, meaning for each building or each meter, you will have a separate Form 3 and Form 4. Director Patrick, but you can submit and consolidate all of these reports into one submission.
That's right, Ms. Cecil. Actually, I do want to take this opportunity because this is the SME segment, and we're mindful again of the cost. We're mindful that in terms of personnel, there might be challenges brought about by the pandemic, and because of also the scale of your operations. Let me just go back to why this is being required. It's really on sustainability. What we've seen from our ASEAN peers, the countries alongside us here in the region, is that they've aggressively put energy efficiency along with renewable energy in the operations of their businesses and industries. This is exactly what this is. It is a thought process. It is an actual push of the government for businesses, even those in the SME sector, to seriously consider and go into sustainability initiatives that will make them more cost competitive. Remember, energy efficiency at its heart is still delivering on the same quality of products, consuming lesser energy. And the lesser energy that we consume, it's not only good for the environment, it also frees up your resources for expansion, for doing other activities. You will be surprised, and Miss Joy and Miss Cecil are here. Later on, you can get in touch with them. You'll be surprised from the savings that you can generate once you go through an actual audit. People have been so used to just doing things as they are, but there are systems and technologies and even practices that we can do that can significantly reduce our costs. So in Filipino, nasanay kasi tayo na parating may kuryente, parating may gasolina. Ang sinasabi lang ng batas na ito, tignan natin kung ano yung ginagawa nating mga operasyon natin. Dahil kadalasan, meron talagang oportunidad na bawasan yung konsumo mo. At kada konsumo na babawas, that's lesser cost for you. It's actually translating to profit. So for those na medyo na iffy kanina in terms of the cost for the audit, the audit pays for itself actually, and you will be surprised that little things that we will be recommending can result into savings or reductions to your operational cost on electricity by anywhere from 5, 10, 15, even 25%. Again, those will be dependent on how much investments you want to put on. But I can guarantee you, if you go through the process, at the very least 5 or 10%, you will realize a reduction in terms of your electricity cost. So, tawag natin Ms. Joy at Ms. Cecil or any of our other registered escorts that are flashed on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Patrick, and Ms. Cecil as well. Okay, so si Mr. Romel Dagayday sent in a question, and I might need some teamwork from you, Director Patrick and Ms. Joy, because he's asking two questions here. All right, he's asking, is the kilowatt per hour consumption within 5 years a good benchmark for our DOE report? And can we request Meralco for the records of our consumption?
Ms. Joy, I'll go ahead to answer the first portion, then I'll pass it on to you. The 5-year benchmark, I think Ms. Cecil can also vouch for this. That's really a good reference here. It allows you for the nuances and uniqueness of your operations. It gives you a historical basis. That's the only reason why it's needed. It serves as a good starting point in knowing what you have been doing correctly, for example, or what you have been doing not so correctly. So for the next part of the question, I'll turn it back to Ms. Joy.
Thank you, Dr. Patrick. When it comes to the provision of the report during the 5 years consumption of our customer, I must say that I have to get back on that, because when it comes to the retention of the customer history, when it comes to our data, I guess it's just about 2 to 3 years. So when it comes to that 4th and 5th year, we have to get back on that, and that will be back with our customers, specifically to Mr. Ramon Agayay. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Director Patrick and Ms. Joy. Ms. Cecil, now I have another question for you here. Do you have any suggestions on how to implement savings on factories with a lot of electric heaters? And this is from Alexis Reyes.
Thank you for your question, Alexis. First, we determine if you are fully utilizing all the heated water or heated air. And then we go through your whole system to check for leaks and inefficiencies. And then we compare that versus your theoretical capacity. And there you can clearly see if there are inefficiencies, leaks, or if there's a chance that you don't need to turn on your boilers the whole time. So if you don't really need it that much, you can only schedule your boilers so that you only consume energy when it's needed. So those are the things that we look at. So flow meters and other instruments will be deployed to your system to check for all of these.
All right, thank you, Ms. Cecil. Okay, so before we move on, again, reminding everybody watching here, if you have any questions that you'd like to direct to Miss Joy, Director Patrick, or to Miss Sesu, please feel free to type in your questions in the chat box. I'm pretty sure that they'd be happy to answer your questions. All right, now moving on, Miss Joy, I have another question for you. Mr. Paulino Lazarte is asking, in your net metering system, are you installing a bidirectional meter?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Lazarte. Yes, the bidirectional meter is the standard meter for all our customers with solar installations registered under the net metering program. The bidirectional meter allows us to capture both the import and the export energy, so that will redound to savings on your bill. Because if a customer just proceed with the installation of the solar panels without registering under the net metering program, the meter that will be retained installed in their facility will be the unidirectional meter. So this meter only allows to capture the import. So whether may export siya or may import siya, isa lang ang babasahin ng meter, and that will be a consumption. You will not be able to realize the savings further. That's why it is a must for our customers, those with solar installations, to go for net metering and have that meter replaced with a bidirectional meter. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? All right, wonderful. Sorry, Director Patrick and Miss Esso, before I was cut off by my microphone, I have a question that perhaps the two of you can help me in shedding light on. Okay, so this person is asking, we made some equipment migration projects that reduced power consumption of a building in 2018 to 2020. Could these be applied for incentive, or could these be applied for an incentive program?
I'll go ahead, Mr. Sun. In terms of the incentive, if it's part of what we will be submitting, we may be entitled to our non-fiscal incentive. Let me just start off with that. In terms of the fiscal incentives, there's a procedure that you do have to follow. You can check out our website for that and that of the Board of Investments. So I will leave it at that on that portion, and I'll pass it on to Ms. Rosel.
Yeah, he's correct. The law is prospective, so you need to register the project first, ask an ESCO to help you with that. And once it's registered and audited for baseline numbers, that's the only time you can apply for incentives or income tax holiday.
Thank you, Director Tino. Thank you, Miss Cecil. Oh, sorry, were you going to add something?
No, that's it.
Okay. That's good because perhaps you can answer this as well, Miss Cecil. And this is from Joel Benavice. I hope I'm reading that correctly, Joel. Good day. Do we need to apply and get approval for energy conservation, for an energy conservation officer or an energy manager prior to submission of annual reports?
No, so long as they comply with the requirements provided for in the Act. You can just fill out forms 1 and 2 and give the details of your ECO or your EM.
All right, thank you, Ms. Cecil. Joel, I hope that was clear for you. If not, feel free to clarify again in the chat box. And that goes to everybody here. If you have any more questions, please feel free to type in your questions in the chat box. All right, next question from Anonymous again. Director Patrick, this is for you again. Sir, what if we didn't reach the 100 million kilowatt per hour annual consumption, since we are going to start our company mid-year? Does it mean we are exempted to submit our report next year for 2021?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Kevin. I just would like to say to Anonymous, definitely you will not reach 100 million kilowatt hours. So I think that's a typographical error on your part. So it's 100,000, the threshold is 100,000 kilowatt hours. And there's a strong likelihood, depending, again, you did not mention which industry you are from. There is a likelihood that if you start in the first half of the year, operations I mean, you will reach that threshold, depending again on your industry. But in the event that you don't reach it, that's right, you're not obliged to report. But I will answer something that's probably not been asked, but most likely is the situation that we have. What happens, there is an earlier question that indicated that in the past, before the pandemic, we were classified as a certain level. Let's say I was type 2, my consumption was at 4 million kilowatt hours in the past. But because of the pandemic, our operations has been scaled down. So what would happen in the interim? Do I still need to comply under type 2 or type 1 or other? The rule of thumb being for us, and this is the first time I'm saying it because it just became very apparent from all of the questions, is that the obligation is really on the reporting, on the information, meaning your accomplishment of EEC forms number 3 and number 4. So that much I would stress. Now, on the other obligations on either going for your CECO or CEM, that will be contingent, of course, at the level of your consumption. If you exceed 4 million kilowatt hours, then it's going to be an energy manager. If it's under half a million, it's going to be an energy conservation officer. So that would be the guide. That's about it. Thank you.
Thanks again, Director Patrick. All right, so in the interest of time, we're going to be entertaining about maybe 2 questions for the day. Okay, so our second to the last question is open for any of our esteemed panelists to answer, so please feel free to chime in after I read out the question. Would solar panels be considered as cost-saving energy? Aside from solar panels, inverters, and what was mentioned in the presentation earlier, what other devices can we use to improve our cost energy efficiency?
Yes, I think that's mine. Yes, solar panels can always be reported as part of your Form 3 report or Form 4. And you can always look at the different cooling devices that we mentioned earlier. But the best actually is to visualize your data first to see where you are consuming the most. And I think from there you can go and explore the different devices you can look at. So if we can also give you a guide of the highest energy users, as part of your energy management framework, you will be asked to identify within your facility all the different energy users. And then from there, you prioritize the subsystem that consumes the most. And from there are different technologies that you can use.
Thank you, Ms. Cecil. Anybody else want to add to that? All right, none. Now we move on to our last question for this morning, unfortunately. All right. Our consumption is averaging at 80,000 kilowatts per hour per month. Are we required to comply? Director Patrick, baka sa inyo na naman po ito.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes, definitely. If you're averaging at 80,000 kilowatt hours multiplied by 12, that will reach the threshold in terms of being a type 1 designated establishment at the very least. So definitely you do need to comply. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Director Patrick. Anybody else want to add to that before we conclude this portion of the program? All right, that's it. Thank you very much. And again, speaking to everybody that typed in a question in the chat box, thank you very much. And to the other questions that we won't be able to answer this morning, in the interest of time, unfortunately, don't worry, because our Biz Partner Managers are going to reach you privately for them to be able to answer your inquiries. All right? So before we let our very esteemed group of panelists go, perhaps you would like to share some parting words. Miss Joy, perhaps you can start this off.
Thank you, Kevin. I guess I have to live with the word partnership. Gone are the days where the distribution relationship of Morocco with our customers only start and end with distribution and the provision of bills and just the collection of payment from our customers. But this time around, having amplified and intensified our efforts in bringing and creating that bridges with our customers, we therefore have the partnership with our customers. True enough today, we're staging this webinar as part of our partnership with our customers to let them know now there are certain law acts coming from the government, specifically from the DOE, that we want them to know about this and know the impact. Because if the partnership is not there, I guess we're having coming partnership with DOE in staging this information to all of our customers. And that partnership will not only end with this information campaign, but of course, there will be our next steps or to-dos, which is reach out na kami to our customers or our customers to reach us, partner, usap tayo for them on how to comply with this law. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Joy. Miss Cecil, once again, the floor is yours.
I'd like to thank everyone who attended today, and I'd like to assure you that do not be overwhelmed with all of these details that you're hearing for the first time. You can talk to us or your biz partner, and we will help guide you through the process. So just don't panic. April 15 is very near, but there's still time. Reach out to us, and we will help you through the process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cecil. And last but definitely not the least, Director Patrick, any parting words for everybody watching this morning?
Yes, government is doing its part in making things easy. Let our post-COVID situation be a sustainable and energy efficient one. Join us in moving this agenda forward. Government cannot do this alone. Think of energy efficiency, as I mentioned at the start of my presentation, as an opportunity to move forward better in your operations, improve your costs, and more importantly, lead to a sustainable future for each and every one of us. So that's it, Kevin, Miss Joy, Cecil. It has been a pleasure joining you this morning as well.
Thank you, Director Patrick. And that is it for our very insightful question and answer portion. And on behalf of everybody watching, since we cannot physically see them this morning, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed panel of speakers this morning. A virtual round of applause once again to Miss Joy Mendoza, Miss Cecil Marvilla, and of course, Director Patrick Aquino. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Right, so I must say this forum has been very educational, especially for me, as well as for many of our viewers. Again, if you have questions specific with your account, kindly share it through the link provided in the chat box. Again, needless to say, we definitely value your privacy. All right, so it's definitely been a fruitful morning for all of us, and I hope the information we now have on the EENC Act will help your business. But before we formally close this morning's webinar, I'd like to announce the winners of our trivia game earlier this morning. So I hope you're paying attention, because these are the two people who were the quickest in typing in the correct answers during our trivia game earlier in the program. All right, congratulations Mr. Romel Dagayday. Our first winner, and congratulations, our second winner, is this Joker or Joketer? John Sarmiento. Congratulations to our two winners, and to everybody watching, please extend a virtual round of applause for the two of them. All right. And before we proceed with the next part of the program, I'd like to mention that the copies of the presentations are going to be sent to all the attendees after you guys fill out the feedback forms. Again, the copies of the presentations are going to be sent to the attendees of this program after you fill out our feedback form. So if you want a copy of the presentations, please do not forget to fill out the feedback forms. All right? And now moving on, as a fun way of showing our gratitude, maybe you'd like to know who among you won in our pre-drawn raffle segment earlier this morning. Okay, so again, to those watching, please do pay attention because who knows, baka kayo po ang nanalo this morning. All right, so congratulations, Alan Sere, Crispian Lau, Edward Evangelista, Mark Anthony Inong, and lastly, Melvin, and this is Melvin Bondok. Again, congratulations to all our raffle winners, especially since you were able to take the time to join us in our program for this morning. Okay, our representatives from Meralco are going to be messaging you right about now to discuss how they're going to be sending you your prizes. Once again, we'd like to thank you for your active participation, and we hope you can give us some feedback on this webinar. You may send in your thoughts, reactions, and suggestions via the link that we pasted in the chat box. And that officially concludes this morning's webinar, brought to all of us by Meralco Biz Partners. Once again, thank you for joining us, and this has been your host, Kevin La Peña, reminding everybody to please keep yourself well-informed, safe, and healthy. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, everybody, and please take care.